We will continue with Roche, and I would like to ask Dr. Jochen Holebaus on stage. So Jochen, welcome. Jochen is the head of digital health innovation of Roche Diagnostics and also one of the founders of startup Creasphere. And as I said in the beginning, we have some exciting announcements to make today, and that is in regards to the extension of the partnership together with Roche and Plug and Play in startup Creasphere. So Jochen, thank you for joining us. Here you see some insights from the past 3 years, from really the first event, the Batch Zero at Werk 1 here in Munich, to our very own events here. With Said, with you, with everyone in the team. So thank you to the entire Roche team, to the entire Plug and Play team for the past 3 years and what we have achieved together with the mission of making healthcare more innovative. So Jochen, thanks for your trust and your support, and also to the team for jointly believing in this great mission and that we can continue this journey together. So we are really proud about that and really happy, and thank you for the trust. And we wanted to share this today with you, this great news. And with that being said, I would like to hand over the word to you, Jochen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Friederike, for the intro, and hello, everybody. Yes, it's exciting to be here today after 5 batches, starting the 6th batch today, and I could actually just spend the next half an hour to thank everybody that contributed to where we are today with Startup Creasphere in Munich and beyond. You know, there has been a great team effort actually from Plug and Play, from Sanofi, from Lonza, from the other ecosystem partners that we had in Creasphere and we have in Creasphere. But also, of course, the startups, right? I mean, without the startups, nothing would have happened in the last years. The mentors that have supported the program and the individual startup interactions. Within Roche, of course, the Roche leadership team, our CEO that was very much behind that from the very start, but also all the focus topic owners, not to forget the people that actually give these focus topic owners the freedom to work with Startup Creasphere and with startups and to really approach this healthcare transformation in an open innovation and collaborative approach. And I think that's also the segue into this slide here, talking about open innovation and collaboration with partners, where everybody has understood, I think, that without partners, you can't be successful in transforming healthcare. And we have several partnerships that we have in place. And it's not only startups, of course, and in the last actually Expo Day, Tim Jäger has shown a similar slide already from Roche, talking about how we work with authorities like the FDA or the CFDA on the regulatory requirements that are very different when it comes to digital. One aspect being that in digital, you have very, very frequent updates of your software, and the current regulations are actually not very well prepared for that. So we are working together with these authorities to actually improve this and make it more fit for purpose for the future of digital health. Then we also have large corporate partners like GE or Accenture, where we work on decision support solutions. Accenture is one of our key partners to actually bring our Navify tumor board solution into hospital settings by integrating it into these complex IT infrastructures and mapping data structures, something which is also a huge problem in healthcare, this whole interoperability topic, data standardization. And then, of course, we have a variety of startup programs next to Startup Creasphere. There's the Rocks from Roche Pharma Germany, based in Berlin, focusing more on bringing startups into the German market. But then we also have the Starfinder, not shown here with the logo, in Israel, where we also work with very young startups. So for us, extremely important to become successful, and the number and the types of partnerships will actually just increase in the future. That's for sure. So yeah, if you go to the next slide, you know, after 3 years, you could think, well, maybe all topics have been covered. And what else can there be after having like 53 startups in the batch? Of course, not all 53 have been for Roche, but I think we are also close to 40 already. So what else could there be? And it's actually also a message, I think, to everybody about the complexity of healthcare and what actually is all related to healthcare and to a patient journey and to making diagnosis and treatment and everything that belongs to healthcare, and that actually on about everything digital has an influence, and digital transformation makes a change and it makes actually a disruption very often how things are done today and how things will be done in the future. This slide is also not new. Some that have been following us since a few batches know that from the Roche perspective, we are focusing on the one hand on internal value chain, right? So that's about customer support topics. It's about our internal R&D, advanced data analytics that we use primarily on the inside of our operations. But then we have also a large focus on customer solutions, where we work, of course, on lab solutions, which is really our most established business still, the majority, but then increasingly on the side of physicians and also patients when it comes to disease management, digital biomarkers, topics like this. Of course, we always have to be very clear on what is the benefit that we are creating with this solution, right? Where it's on the top rather more on efficient diagnostics in the lab, but then also more effective clinical decisions to improve the outcome of patients, because at the end, that's all that counts. Improve the outcome of the patients and also the value you can bring to the healthcare systems. Now, if you go look to today's startups that you'll see now pitching in a couple of minutes, we have a few of them which are, let's say, our usual suspects. They're working on technology also for the lab and for samples. But then I think the theme of today is actually a lot about patients, about empathy, about managing patients, about interacting with patients. So it's a very personal journey from understanding voice with AI-based methods and translating it, but also really interacting with AI-based methods with patients in an efficient way to really help patients to cope with their daily life and their disease that they have. And with that, I think I have spoken enough, and I really want to give the stage to the startups. Thanks everybody for listening in today, and I'm really excited for this batch and also the 6 more to come, hopefully in a non-virtual or at least not only virtual format. Thanks everybody. Have a great day today.
Thank you, Jochen, and thank you for sharing. And I also hope that this will not be in a virtual session from the next batch onwards. Really exciting focus topic. So let's jump right into it. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce you to my dear colleague, Maximilian Scholz, our venture analyst, who is also responsible to find these great startups and who will be introducing the startups for you. So Max, welcome you on stage.
Thank you, Friederike, for that very kind introduction, and of course also a very warm welcome to each and every one of you tuning in today's event and joining us for our great Batch 6 kickoff. We're super excited to showcase and announce 17 incredible startups, and of course also the very inspirational minds behind those startups in our today's event. So looking forward to that. And each one of those startups actually holds the potential to reshape the future healthcare system. So very excited. And on a general note, of course, my name is Maximilian Scholz. I work on the ventures team at Plug and Play. And together with my team and also my dear colleague Fabian Scheugenpflug, we are responsible for assisting our corporate partners in their own innovation endeavors, helping them scout the right companies, find the right companies, and also make the matches happening in terms of the collaboration projects moving forward. So as a roadmap for today, we will now have the opportunity to listen into 17 pitches, learn about the underlying vision, about the underlying technology and product of those entrepreneurs, and actually also use the Meet Anywhere platform that we have for some further networking, actually to engage with the startups themselves, to network and establish some meaningful relationships going forward. As a last stance, I want to stress that, of course, each startup has a very unique and individual view on the healthcare system, but what unites them all is truly the mission to provide true patient value, to foster better patient outcomes, treatment outcomes, and that also holds true to our dear and great corporate partners. So without further ado, I would like to announce our first startup member for batch 6 to the virtual stage, MIRA Rehab. MIRA Rehab from the UK is dedicated and focused on improving the rehabilitation journey for patients in an at-home setting. So truly decentralizing our current ways of the healthcare system while empowering patients taking ownership of their own health. So how they do that, how they use gamification as a very essential part of also easing the struggle and the suffering during the rehabilitation journey, we'll now hear all about it. So please, Matthew, come onto the virtual stage and lead us away with the first pitch of batch 6.
Thank you, Max, and thank you to everybody for putting this together and including MIRA. We're honored to be participants in Startup Creasphere in batch 6. So thank you very much. So as Max said, my name is Matt Papagno. I am the Chief Executive Officer of MIRA Rehabilitation, based in London with tech offices in Romania. We are a digital health company, and we're focused on improving patient outcomes through both physical and cognitive exercises. The core product that we sell is MIRA. MIRA is a software platform that converts physical and cognitive exercises into what we call exergames using proprietary 3D motion tracking technology. We're addressing a huge market in the physiotherapy space between Europe and North America. Obviously over 21 billion and growing, as patients are looking to achieve more as they age longer and look for more out of their lives. We are helping patients get better faster and addressing the needs of the COVID-19 world with telehealth and digital care. MIRA's solution begins at assessment. When a patient begins their rehab immediately post-acute injury, they start with assessments. So MIRA can check a patient's range of motion, whether in a clinic or from remote. Through custom questionnaires, we can gauge a patient's mentality, how they're feeling, what they're experiencing. And then an assignment is created through their clinician. We call these rehab schedules, and these include up to 450 different exergame combinations, which actually means that every time a patient logs in, they can have a different experience when they play MIRA, which creates a great motivation to come back and play. These are really fun video games. You can see a few of them in the pictures on the right. Each time a patient interacts with MIRA, feedback is given not only to the patient, but to the provider. And we can gauge how well their rehab is progressing. Perhaps the games are too easy, or perhaps they are too challenging. They can be adjusted, and as the therapist can intervene and increase the quality of the rehab, ensuring a quality outcome for the patient. Currently, MIRA sells what we will call MIRA Clinic. You'll hear more about our clinical data here on this product that's launched since 2012. This takes our software platform and combines it with 3D motion tracking and allows for fine motor skills and fine motor tracking. We are also launching MIRA Home. Trials begin for this product actually in April of this year, which is very exciting. This is 2D motion tracking through the same cameras that we're all sharing through Zoom here today. This will also come with telehealth services as we move further into 2021. And on the horizon is our preventative care app for well-being in the future. Here you can see a picture in the bottom right of our two-dimensional motion tracking technology and a deeper dive into our clinical products. As I mentioned, our 3D Clinic product is available now. Home will be available in Q2, and the MIRA app is targeted Q4 or Q1 of next year. Here you can see a mock-up of our app with a few of our games. The important note is that everything we do at MIRA is focused on the continuum of care and a patient's well-being. This means that everything a patient does is stored in our GDPR compliant servers through MIRA Clinic, MIRA Home, and the MIRA app. So the patient can always access their care and a clinician can always track a patient's journey. Some interesting notes, because we have been around since 2012, we are well studied. In 2019, a randomized control study of over 100 patients in a care home setting showed that MIRA can reduce patient falls by over 64%. Without going into further detail on many of these other studies, we have studies on neurorehabilitation, pediatrics, and musculoskeletal care, and many, many more. One of the key highlights of MIRA is that patients enjoy the experience. I speak personally, my 7 and 4-year-old children love playing MIRA for fun, and we have patients as old as 103 and everything in between. We have over 5,000 patients using MIRA. Today, we're actually over 70,000 MIRA rehab sessions. We're actually launching in our 18th country here as we move into Q2, and we're very excited to say that our retention data is nearly 70%. Typical physiotherapy comes with 30% compliance. That means only 3 in 10 patients will actually do physical therapy when it's prescribed to them. We can show that our internal data shows that we have over 70%, doubling the retention rate of standard of care. Many of our clinical papers, including the randomized control study of falls prevention, showed patient retention of over 85% at 12 weeks. So we're very excited to join in Startup Creasphere. And as we move along, here's some of the folks you'll see. My team, Nick Kalaidis, our CFO, 3 of our original co-founders, Dr. Elena Kalin, Andre Daskalu, and Andre Kantia, will all be available to take questions as we progress through the day today. So as I said, thank you very much for having us. It's an honor to be participants in Startup Creasphere. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew, and I can echo your words. We're very glad to have you on board, and it's incredible that you bring an element with gamification to the rehabilitation journey to actually ease that road going forward to the patient. So glad to have you on board and looking forward to making some memorable moments in the next 3 months to come. So next up, we will have the company Way AI from Switzerland. They are active in a very similar field. However, they're extending the view also to the general at-home workouts. They leverage the motion tracking technology. They can basically analyze the motions that you do during your workouts. They give you smart recommendations how you improve them. And that being said, I think they're an incredible partner also for Roche when it comes to potential disease prevention with workouts. So with that being said, please come to the virtual stage. Very happy to have you. Joel, take us away with your pitch and sharing your vision with Way AI.
Yes, thanks a lot for the introduction, and also thanks for putting us in such a great combination with MIRA. I definitely see quite some overlap there, but obviously I'll just get to that. I'm Joel. I'm the CEO of Zurich-based ETH spin-off Way. And pretty much like everybody else who's into digital fitness or fitness in general, I've been looking for the perfect digital fitness product since COVID-19 hit. And like everybody else, I haven't found it. Is there a perfect product? Well, probably not, but we can try to get as close as possible. What's the problem of all the providers, from fitness apps to gym machine manufacturers, is that they don't really have a system that allows true personalization. And as we know, personalization is something users today desperately crave. Now, this being an urgent problem and speed to market being highly important in this very competitive digital fitness market, we have a great opportunity as a first mover. Here's how we're solving the problem of these application providers.
Our camera-based motion analysis closes the feedback loop between a user and any device with a camera. For example, my MacBook. It tracks my body motion accurately and robustly in real time, and it recognizes over 70 fitness movements. For example, a squat where it counts my repetitions, provides me with corrective feedback, which when I do it correctly, it's going to tell me, hey, that was a great job. And it even tells me if I'm being a lazy bastard and I should squat deeper. That allows us to take digital fitness products to the next level by creating an immersive, interactive, and personalized experience.
This has been brought to market within the last 3 years by my 2 co-founders, Ben, with a business background from University of St. Gallen, and Patrizio, my ETH fellow, our CTO, a genius in computer vision and computer science. We have together built up this product and an interdisciplinary team of by now 10 full-time employees with best-in-class computer vision engineers as well as business professionals. We also have been able to attract renowned names like former Magic Leap Managing Director Switzerland, Alex Illich, FitTech founder Natalia Karpasova, or the leader of the Rehabilitation Engineering Science Center here in Zurich, Oliver Stoller. As an ETH spin-off, we furthermore have access to the best talent, as well as latest research results from our partners at the university. We currently serve our motion analysis in a B2B software as a service model, where we directly integrate the SDKs into any platform, any system that has a camera of our clients. So for example, into a fitness app or also a fitness machine. For that, we charge a license fee. And it has brought us great traction. We have just launched in the beginning of the year after a substantial pivot with the fitness product. We have grown our monthly recurring revenue to over 20,000 in less than 3 months. And we have a committed rollout with 2 industry leaders in the field in this year still. We're currently raising money, so from the 2 million that we're seeking, we already have over half of that committed or invested already, and now we're looking for investors with strong ties to the health industry. Now I'm basically getting to the part where it gets really interesting, because wait, that's really health tech. We see prevention and fitness as a big piece of the puzzle, but we also see our technology being applied in diagnostics and recovery and rehabilitation. That's where I want to build the bridge to MIRA, who just pitched before us. They are looking for this technology, and maybe we can even partner up on that. So I think it's great of Roche and Creasphere to bring us all together for this transition from the virtual fitness to the bigger area of virtual health. We are looking for partners. We're building up a network of very strong and committed partners. We have already the largest health insurance in Switzerland, CSS Versicherung. We have the renowned Balgrist University Hospital, as well as various research institutes in Switzerland. And of course, we are hoping to add Roche to our partners and create a product together that will address the needs of patient, physical therapists, and other stakeholders as well. So please contact me if you would like to get involved, visit our website, and for sure, everybody, please go to our partner page and see if you're actually doing your squats correctly or if you're endangered for long-term damages. Thanks.
Thank you, Joel, for that great pitch. Very insightful. And I definitely think that you have the right partner in Roche to explore this field of virtual health and use your technology together with them to really establish a position there. So looking forward to the next 3 months, and hopefully we will gain some really great milestones along with you. So next up, we will shift from the field of computer vision and analyzing images with AI to another very important data perspective that can be used. And this lies in applying AI to analyze audio data and also speech data. So next up, we will have 2 companies who actually do that in a very different fashion. So first up being the company Nemesisco. Nemesisco is actually using voice analytics in order to better understand customers. That is very important because we live in an environment where we have multiple digital channels and we, of course, have very fast customer interactions. So Nemesisco offers an AI to detect and analyze speech and detect emotions along the way. So if a customer is frustrated or satisfied, Nemesisco can detect that, and this is of course really insightful for the customer service going forward. So how they are doing that, please welcome them now on the stage. Very happy to have them on board and listen into their pitch, and how they detect frustration and how they can overcome frustration. We'll now learn all about it. So please lead us away with your pitch.
Thank you, Max. Hi, everyone. My name is Gal Olofsson. I'm a product manager at Nemesisco. I have to say I'm beyond excited to be here today, the launch of batch 6 of Creasphere program, and I want to thank everybody for attending. Of course, a big thanks to everybody behind this amazing program. We only have 5 minutes, I'm told, so let's dive right into it. I'll just share my screen in a bit. Yes, here we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Fantastic. So Nemesisco offers a unique technology for genuine emotion detection via voice analysis. Truly understanding people's emotional reactions and motivations has always been a key challenge in almost any aspect of our lives. since it informs our decision-making process and how we interact with others. The better we understand our conversation partner, the better equipped we are to make the best out of the interaction. In a world where so many of our interactions are mitigated by technology and web-based communication apps, the challenge has grown realer than ever. So Nemesisco's layered voice analysis technology offers unique insights into the speaker's actual emotional and cognitive responses, insights that give organizations the power to know, not to assume or to guess, but truly know their customers and their teams. So to understand what's so special about our technology, let's take a quick look at voice analysis methods known today. So first, there's voice print, basically identifying the speaker by their unique voice. If you know the person, you can do it to yourselves. And so can some solutions in the field, of course. It's great stuff, but we don't do that. Then there's speech to text, the process of converting speech into text and then analyzing the text to find what was said and maybe guess the subtext or contextual sentiment. Great stuff, but we don't do that. And finally, there's sentiment analysis, a process of assessing what a person sounds like, angry, excited, happy, sad, etc., with the idea that how we choose to express ourselves is how we actually feel. And you guessed it, it's great stuff, but we don't do that. Nemesisco's LVA technology goes beyond mimicking the capability of the human ear. We analyze 151 vocal biomarkers in the human voice, elements that are uncontrollable by the speaker and cannot be readily identified by the listener. In over 20 years of research, we have correlated those biomarkers with key emotional and cognitive states, enabling us to reveal how speakers truly and genuinely feel in real time. Moreover, we were able to put emotions on a scale and measure their intensity to provide deeper layers of insights about how people react to specific stimuli. LVA was born as a lie detection tool for security and investigation related use cases, but it grew beyond the risk assessment sphere and can now identify and measure emotional states such as stress, excitement, hesitation, confusion, mental effort, engagement, energy, embarrassment, arousal, anger, sadness, happiness, and of course, levels of risk, which is exactly our legacy. Nemesisco serves multiple markets and use cases globally, including helping crime fighters in security and investigations, helping employers with their employee recruitment and personality assessment, fighting insurance fraud, optimizing KYC and loan underwriting, and helping contact centers to provide a tailored customer experience while keeping an eye on their employees' professionalism and, of course, emotional well-being. Our technology is easily integratable for any use case via our SDKs and cloud-based APIs, but if you need it tomorrow morning, we also offer task-specific turnkey applications. Of course, healthcare being the topic of the day and the program, LVA provides unique advantages for healthcare use cases, from first responders contact centers to identifying mental and cognitive states to remote diagnostic assistance, and this is naming but a few use cases. Even the data that we provide, or the data generated by the system, can be researched to work with so many topics and healthcare situations. So LVA, just for your knowledge, LVA has garnered the attention of leading universities and private commercial researchers around the world over the years. Extended researches were conducted to successfully validate LVA, which performed in flying colors and high accuracy. Researchers were conducted in universities such as Duke University in the US, the Gujarat Forensic Sciences University in India, Moscow University in Russia, University of Tsukuba in Japan, and many, many more. And you're all welcome to our website to actually take a look at some of the researchers. Of course, Nemesisco serves some of the leading companies in the world from various fields, but there's time for that later. So I'd like to thank you for your time and for your attention, and don't estimate, no. Thank you.
Thank you, Gal. Very great pitch. And I think your LVA technology is truly amazing. A lot of fields to apply it. And of course, I hope that it does not only detect customer frustration, but it also helps in overcoming customer frustration. But with that being said, I wish you also a great participation in today and of course in the following 3 months. So next up, we will... Of course, Gal, of course, happy to have you. So next up, we will have another exciting voice analytics company that is not concerned primarily with the interpretation of audio data, but rather focuses on the right transcription of it. So truly having a software that is an accurate transcriber of audio and speech data. And for that, I would like to introduce to you guys the company Zoemeet from the Netherlands. With that being said, I will hand it over to Kevin, who is going to explain us more how this is important and why this could be also a solid base for detecting diseases using oral data as a new biomarker. So please lead us away.
Thank you so much, Max, for that introduction. And thank you everyone that's joining in today. Really appreciate your time. I'm going to jump right into our presentation because there's always room for questions later. So there's a lot of information and knowledge in our day-to-day conversations, not just the value of what we communicate, but also how we communicate. Automatic speech recognition is capable of analyzing and creating value from our communication, exposing answers to questions that could help enterprises run businesses more efficiently, medical professionals to diagnose patients better, and consumers to communicate more productively. However, enterprises can't adopt tech at scale when it comes to voice technology because market available speech recognition is non-private, not tailored to your communication needs, and is very costly to scale. Zoemeet offers speech recognition that people can trust, technology that is private, trained on your communication, and scalable without unforeseen costs. We're super private. Using our proprietary technology, we completely de-identify real individuals from their voice data, making us fully GDPR and HIPAA compliant. We outperform the market and train your engine to your communication. And the best thing about it, we do it all in a privacy compliant way. No need to wait months or even years. We deliver on increasing recognition quality in just a matter of weeks. Now, no one likes unforeseen high costs and third parties charging you by the minute. That's why at Zoemeet, we offer speech recognition at a fixed licensing fee, eliminating the risks of unforeseen costs, making speech recognition scalability predictable. Our customers operate in different industries, and we enable them to develop new workflows, services, and business models that are trained for their use case and easy to scale while ensuring data security and privacy. We're a technology enabler, and we work closely with our customers. Together with Verizon 5G Labs and Vuzix, we created the world's first transcription solution for augmented reality glasses, currently being showcased at Innovation Labs in the US and the UK. We don't just deliver on technology, we work together to achieve objectives. Zoemeet is trusted by people and companies globally, and we're happy to have gained the trust of startup Creasphere and Roche and are excited to work together to accomplish a successful pilot outcome together. I'm Kevin Oranje, the CEO, and I've managed over 100 digital platforms, including the Dutch National Identity System. My co-founder and CTO, Nick Jaap, has 25 years of experience in innovation entrepreneurship, specializing in audio, language, and AI. Together with a highly experienced technical team, we deliver on quality speech technology. Now to recap, working with Zoemeet will offer you speech recognition at the highest level of privacy. You will experience the best accuracy for your communication needs, and will adopt technology that is scalable for new business models. Now, if you'd like to learn more about us, well, you're just a click away from our virtual booth. So let's have a chat. and we'll be ready to explain more about our company and explain how we can help you to launch voice-powered solutions that can scale in a privacy-compliant manner. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin. And I definitely want to echo your words. Let's have a chat. For that in specific, we have our virtual event happening, of course, on the Meet Anywhere platform that has those features in specific, because that's what we all came here for, to make some meaningful and lasting relationships and connections. And I would like to invite you all to the individual startup booths, especially for Zoemi, to meet them, ask them the questions. Like you see already, they're super eager to get in conversations with you about their product and sharing more about their underlying visions. So thank you for being part of the Startup Creasphere family, Kevin, and looking forward to the next 3 months to come. So next up, we will have another exciting company on the Roche side for the Batch 6 program called DEMA from France. DEMA is focused on assuring the right quality handling of blood samples, starting from the blood sample collection in a clinical setting until the final blood sample diagnosis and analysis in a laboratory setting. So why this is super important to the eventual diagnostics and how they benchmark also against competitive products. We will now hear all about it by Elisa. So please welcome to the stage. Take us away with your great pitch. And of course, looking forward to the next 3 months to come.
Thank you for this introduction. Hi, everybody. So I'm Elisa Grimoire. I'm doctor in neuroscience and co-founder and CEO of DEGMA. I have to tell you that I am glad to be part of this Creasphere Batch 6 and to be able to meet ambitious international health company funders, because I'm sure that we have a lot of things to learn and share from each other. I will present you DEGMA, which is specialized in medical biology and more specifically in pre-analytical reliability of blood sample. You must wonder why. Because as the COVID-19 vaccine, blood sample quality is sensitive to critical parameters. I'm sure you guess, temperature and delays of transport or storage. But the problem is that blood samples are not given the same preferential treatment as the vaccine. Why we cannot imagine that these parameters are not controlled for the vaccine. The medical biology laboratories do not control these parameters for the samples because they didn't have until now the right tools to do it. So how laboratories guarantee sample reliability before they arrive into their premises? So stop wondering, that's our job. So our solution is based on the use of connected objects called loggers, which communicate automatically and in real time temperature, delays, and location of the sample via a mobile application and toward the DEGMA platform accessible to laboratories. But quality is only the first goal of the DEGMA platform. And the second one, we address it with Roche. Together, we are currently digitalizing all the information related to the samples. It is the identification of the sampler, patient ID, the tube ID, prescription, etc., which is needed by the laboratory for the analysis. It may seem surprising for you who are deeply aware of digital technology, but until now, this information was mainly produced manually when the sample arrived to the laboratory. Thus, to secure this data and to optimize the logistics of the laboratory, we digitize it and make it available to the laboratory as soon as the sample is taken. It is not such a complicated project for us, but our commitment with Roche has been crucial to it, because as you can see on your screen, Roche has a strategic position within the laboratory. They are connected to the analyzer, to the business software, and in France to the share medical record linked to the Department of Health. It allows us to give value to this data and to make it interoperable with many systems. In the field of this project, we work with both the French and the global Roche team. I have to tell you, this is an excellent way for everyone to improve its French at low cost. Seriously, we are already identified the pilot site that will be able to quickly test the entire solution. And this is in this context that Roche offered us to integrate Creasphere, thanks to which we will be able to better understand the operate modes of global markets. Obviously, the traceability is not specific to medical biology. It is a subject in chemotherapy, immunology, anapathology, in research, and we have the intention to address new markets quickly. So if you have ideas, new desires, new topics that you would like to discuss, so feel free to contact me, because even if we love to work with Roche, we didn't get married yet, so do not hesitate. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. Glad to have you on board as well. And next up, we all know that access to patient data is extremely important and forms a solid base also for new healthcare innovation, such as, okay, thank you, Elisa, again. And maybe just to recap, and we all know that patient data is very important, that it forms a rich source and a soil also for new healthcare applications and also therapeutics, personalized applications, and also in the drug development process. This is very much important. But on the other side, being such a high potential and asset also for life science companies, we know that we have to handle patient data in a very sensitive nature. So how to do that and how to adhere to high compliance standards and privacy questions, we need a company that also addresses that, a platform that structures and manages these issues in a smart way. And we actually have such a company next up called Prive. Very happy to have them. Evelina, please come to the stage and tell us how you capture, how you manage, how you share, and how you can eventually also delete patient data on your platform.
Hello, thank you, Max, for the fantastic presentation. You made it really easier for me to present in only 5 minutes this very complex aspect of data management and consent when you're speaking of digital health platforms. And of course, as the other participants, on the behalf of Prive, I'm very happy to join the Creasphere batch 6 this year. And here we are. I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes of your time presenting you Prive, our company, which already a few years ago developed a software solution that is mostly used to de-risk digital health innovation, speaking of different type of platforms development and digital health applications. What you're seeing on the screen, it's nothing new. It's not news for any of us, and we heard it in the previous pitches that most of the digital health and even e-clinical solutions nowadays are vastly collecting personal and patients' data, which obviously it's regulated by different regulations, and privacy, it's a major concern for the people who are in charge of the development of these systems. It is mainstream maybe to speak about GDPR and other regulations on a global basis. So I would prefer to focus a little bit on the other aspect, why many of these digital health platforms have not yet been successful on a global scale. Very simply, we're speaking here about trust, because at the end of the day, if the patient who is the owner of the data does not trust the application or the platform, they're not going to share the data. So the approach of privacy, it's not just clicking the boxes of making one solution compliant to specific regulations, but really making it clear for the participants that they can work in a collaboration with the vendor that is delivering this solution. It's not that simple, however, from the perspective of the one that are in charge of developing such system, even if it sounds very easily said by me. For the people who are in charge of the IT component, which is the one who is responsible for all the data modeling and infrastructure of these applications, it's the IT aspect plus the privacy law and compliance, which makes it extremely difficult for them to build these scalable solutions for digital health and patient data collection. And we saw that this is maybe the reason number one why these systems have failed to be integrated in big organizations or being sustainable on their own. And very honestly, we cannot blame them for not being able to have all the skills in the world put together. And to help them, we developed our software, Prive, which is a development tool. So it's a software that is used by the development teams of organizations, either directly digital health companies or bigger organizations that are developing internally with internal or external IT capabilities, digital health and patient platforms. It's the layers that are highlighted in red. It comes with the collection of the consent, the storage of the consent of the individual or the patient, how the data modeling is done, how the data is integrated, and we spoke about the challenges of data interoperability and making this data available for analysis, sharing, and auditing. Our software, it's not managed by us. It is installed on the customer side and it's fully managed by the customer. Of course, we don't have the time in such a short timeline to read what is written here. So I really invite you to download this presentation and to focus on the real aspect of understanding how does it work, for example, to support e-clinical trials. It's the basic foundation that allows to collect the e-consent, to use digital biomarkers and to make use of real-world patients' data. And of course, in a patient support program, to be able to allow the patient to report real-life lifestyle feedback. It is another slide that we don't have the time to spend today, but very quickly I'll go through it. Again, we don't access any data, we don't host any data. It's a development layer that is used by the organization that is building the digital health platform and allows them to get in a trustful manner access to patients' data. Beyond life sciences and working in clinical studies and patient support program, we work directly with digital health and telemedicine companies, which normally are developing this component internally. And again, as said, it is the reason for many delays and over-investing towards something that it's ready to be used at a much better pricing and at absolutely no risk. And we also work with insurance companies that are using it for behavior analysis and other application within healthcare. We're operating our business from Switzerland, from the French-speaking part in Switzerland, and we already have customers in 8 European countries, which are deploying their solutions on a global basis. We have been commercial since 2015, and we're looking forward to expand our business in another European countries. You can visit also this slide, which is giving more examples of customer success stories. We have Humana, which is a Swiss-made telemedicine platform. In Belgium, we have daily home cardiac monitoring presented by Heart Kinetics. And in UK, we're working with one of the leading pharmaceutical company for cancer drug development, which is developing patient support app, again, having our component for consent and privacy management embedded into their system. We're a team of software engineers, data privacy experts, and entrepreneurs. And we're very much looking forward to network with you and support your innovation at no risk. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well, Evelina. It's great to have you on board. And I agree, it's a very complex area that you're active in, but also a very important area. So please, like Evelina already mentioned, she has a slide deck in place with much more extensive and insightful information that you can access also in the startup booths. So you can simply download the pitch decks of our startups there and have some more reading time and truly grasp the underlying visions there. So thank you, Evelina, and also have a happy networking later on. Next up, we will come to a very important topic in the healthcare market today, especially for the Western healthcare systems. We're talking about the rising prevalence of chronic diseases. They're having a huge burden in terms of financial, but also in terms of human resources on the Western healthcare systems. Just to put that into perspective, in the US alone, 75% of the dedicated healthcare budget is spent in catering and managing chronic diseases. So we see there's a lot of potential also to empower patients on a preventative approach rather than a reactive approach. And we have one of the strong players in this market who's leading that game change. So I would like to hand it over to Julie from Lark. We're very happy to have you on board. And of course, we want to learn from you, your vision, how to lead that shift.
Thank you, Max. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
That's awesome. So full disclosure, my name is Julie Kraft, and
just Julie, one second. Maybe you can share the presentation in the presentation mode, because now we see it in your speaker mode.
Okay, let's see if I can move this.
Should be the bottom right. This one, exactly.
Yep, are you
Perfect.
there?
Now we see everything. Please lead us well. We're very excited about your pitch.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Max, and thank you, everyone. Full disclosure, I had secured my vacation for this week. So I am calling in from Napa Valley, California. And so thank you all for joining me on my vacation. I hope you'll grab a beverage, and we're going to have a great time together. So thank you. Let's go ahead and get started. Lark Health, we are a late stage startup. And so we've already proven our business model. We are really all about coming here today to look for partners for growth. We are looking to accelerate our growth. And so we'll talk about that, what we're looking for, and we're looking to get to the next stage of success. But Lark is an infinitely scalable, personal, compassionate healthcare. And we're basically an AI healthcare provider. We've built out an AI platform. We're serving about 2 million patients today. And we are a proprietary platform where we sit on top of health data so that we can actually serve up real-time predictive interventions to patients, providing them with a really personalized healthcare experience. We have won a few awards from a few little companies like Apple, if anybody's heard of them. We have partnered with some of the brightest and the best, and you can just see a few of the names here. But for example, what we've done is we've partnered with these top clinicians in their field, whether it be healthcare for psychology or whether it be diabetes. And then they have helped us design the clinical framework and the structure for each disease state. And then within that, we've hired people to work on our teams to create content in a very personalized conversation. And where is Lark today? Today, we're at about 130 employees. So again, we're late stage. We're an infinitely scalable, low-cost AI chronic disease management platform. We have partnered and we're covering about 35 million lives. We have about 2 million users on our platform, about 200 employer partners, and we've connected with approximately 70 devices. And that could be blood pressure cuffs, that could be fitness trackers, glucometers, etc. We are a preferred partner with Anthem, and we're recognized at the highest level by the CDC. We did just receive in 2020 our Series C funding of 70 million. And so you're thinking, why are we here? We are here because where we're headed is acceleration into new disease states. We are accelerating into new channels such as pharmaceutical, and we're accelerating into new global markets. So for these three reasons, we are very excited to be here, part of the Creasphere Accelerator program, and we're looking for partners that can help us get to that next level of growth. Today, we serve 5 different disease states. You can see them outlined here. And you can also see our roadmap of some of the disease states we're looking to accelerate our growth into. So again, if anybody's working on any of these roadmap areas, we'd love to talk to you. It is just really hard to try and serve every person out there that's struggling with some type of chronic disease, which data tells us 6 in 10 people have a chronic disease, 4 in 10 have multiple chronic diseases. So in trying to reach the masses, it's just not humanly possible to reach it with live coaches and live nurses and live doctors. So what Lark has been able to do is say we can reach everyone as that first line of defense for digital healthcare. And where you can, especially in the times of COVID, if you're trying to reach an appointment with a psychologist, it could be a 2-month wait. They're so backed up. If you're trying to get in to see your cardiologist, again, it could be a 2-month wait, especially with COVID where they're trying to social distance in the clinic offices. You can't even get in because they're at half capacity. And so with Lark, you're able to, in 1 minute, be in touch with a digital coach to help you with your chronic disease. Here's just one example to just give you a visual example of how our app works. We have escalations where we're coaching on a particular disease, and all of a sudden we take we're connected to their device. We see that they have an out of range reading. And so therefore we will have a conversation with them and we'll escalate and prompt them with a phone call into their primary care doctor, into their asthma clinic, into their an ER room if needed. We'll get them to the right source to help them if they need to. On that 2%, they need to talk to a live coach. We are all about preparing and working with the holistic patient journey. So Lark is kind of the hub where we're connecting. If they need a prescription refill, we'll connect them to their pharmacy. If they need home delivery, if they need a device, if they need triage, again, we talked about the escalations. So it's trying to do that entire patient journey. We don't take care of all those components, but we're the central hub to connect them and be the concierge to connect them to make sure that every point of that patient journey is being addressed in a compassionate and consistent and efficient way. When we do this, we are not only seeing outcomes, patient outcomes that are significantly proven to be life-changing, as you can see some of our case studies and clinical outcomes here for the different disease states. We've just doubled our data scientist team. And so we are in the process of putting out a lot more peer-reviewed studies this year. And we're also looking at the older population. We're trying to get into some of the subpopulations that may be ignored. So not only do we have the ability to help them through that patient journey, we're proving significant outcomes. People say, what about the competition? Basically, we're able to scale and not just serve hundreds of thousands, we can serve millions. We have same or better patient outcomes, and we can do it at half the cost because we're full AI technology platform. So why partner with Lark? We are affordable 24/7 chronic disease care. We're infinitely scalable. So we love those big partners, big populations, and we have proven outcomes. So again, I thank you all for your time, and I hope to be able to meet you out in the breakout sessions, and so that we can get to know each other and see if there's a good opportunity to work together. Thank you all for joining me on my vacation. Prost.
Thank you, Julie. Prost to the Napa Valley. Of course, I love the spirit. And of course, you want to take the opportunity in the networking sessions to also continue that conversation. I think Lark is a great company. You guys are doing great work in terms of providing also chronic disease patients a true digital companion and supporting them along the way. So very happy to have you on board. And I think you guys can also learn a lot from our corporate partners and their respective market position. So yes, thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much, Max.
Of course, of course, of course. Enjoy your holidays.
Thank you.
Of course. Next up, we will have the final batch 6 startup on the Roche side on acoustics. Very happy to have them as well. We are now coming from the Napa Valley to San Francisco, USA. And acoustics is a true revolutionizer at the point of care diagnostics. So they can perform full liver screening and also diagnosis in less than 5 minutes by the clinical staff involved. So this is something that truly sets a new benchmark, also in terms of competitive products and the existing infrastructure, and how they do that, how they actually achieve such process efficiencies, and how that contributes to the general diagnostic space. I'm happy to welcome on board Beth, who is going to lead us through the big pitch deck and also tell us about the further vision of acoustics going forward.
Thank you so much, Max. I'm like my colleagues in batch 6, I'm just thrilled to be here and thrilled to be able to be working with Roche in this batch. And let me share my screen and I will get started straight away.
Yes, now we can see your pitch deck. Please lead us away. We're already very excited.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, you know, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our international audiences, wherever you'll be. I know that we are really covering the globe. I am in San Francisco, so very early in the morning here, but I'm thrilled to be here today. And like a lot of the companies this morning, we're talking about diagnostics, but I will be talking about how we'll be applying AI to provide ultra insight and actionable insights into patients' health. And I think we all know that good health begins with insight and understanding. But insight can be hard to gain, especially in asymptomatic diseases. These asymptomatic diseases are often a dilemma. If they're not causing symptoms, are they causing harm? Structural diseases like fibrosis, adenomas, and cancers are most often silent, asymptomatic, and undetected until advanced stages. And yet, as you can see from that list, sometimes they are benign and sometimes they are deadly. Differentiating between the benign and the deadly is complex and time-consuming. It requires several appointments and specialists. It's expensive and minimally available and often requires high-end imaging such as MRI and CT, or it involves highly invasive biopsies. But there is a better way. And I'm here to introduce you to our way at Acoustics. Acoustics is creating and deploying advanced AI solutions for low-cost, non-invasive surveillance, diagnostics, and treatment monitoring of diseases with high unmet need. Via our patented and data-protected approach, we enable frontline clinicians to do tissue characterization at the point of care. This is pathology at the point of care. Our approach addresses several medical applications of disease surveillance, diagnostics, and staging. It supports treatment, biopsy, real-time surgical guidance, and drug development. We're a hardware-agnostic, software-only solution. We can work on any ultrasound system, but our value comes via these low-end and inexpensive ultrasound systems that are now coming onto the market. They're really kind of flooding the market. These new low-cost systems cost about $4,000 US. They're super exciting, but they're limited by poor image quality. But our approach doesn't require the images. Unlike other players in the space, we don't do image recognition. We don't do image enhancement. We don't do sonographer training. Instead, we apply the AI to the raw ultrasound signals from these readily available ultrasound devices to rapidly differentiate between healthy and diseased tissues. There's a wealth of information in these raw signals, and we align these with existing standards and categorization systems. Via our approach, we remove both the variability of ultrasound acquisition as well as its interpretation. Our first product is for the $30 billion a year liver diagnostics market. Over 2 billion people globally are living with or at risk of liver disease, and the Onyx is a complete liver surveillance and diagnostic solution for point-of-care liver evaluation, beginning with a scoring system for evaluating liver fibrosis. This is an ongoing and growing need in the world, mostly driven by the rise of NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and NASH, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Our solution has now been tested on over 4,000 patients. Our liver solution has now been tested on 4,000 patients, and it offers a unique, inexpensive approach to quickly examine a patient's liver. Within minutes, as Max said, any clinician or care team member can perform the exam and receive quantitative information on the patient's liver. Very little training required, and the quantified results can be read by any MD and provide actionable insights into the patient's liver health. Acoustics makes the complex, expensive, invasive process of diagnosing liver fibrosis seamless, painless, and done in 5 minutes. Our approach is protected by a growing patent portfolio, and our custom collected data set of over 2 million pieces of data represents the largest RF signal data set in the world. Our regulatory submissions for our first product, the Onyx Liver Fibrosis Categorization Solution, are underway. We've achieved over 90% accuracy for this initial offering, and we've submitted our Breakthrough Devices Designation request, and our 510(k) is in development. We're aiming for full clearance of this initial product by the end of 2021. We have systems deployed in 6 clinics, including our prostate data. We have over 5,000 patients imaged. We have partnerships with multiple OEMs and are thrilled to be working with Roche and initiating other pharma relationships as well. We have over 20 MDs involved in our projects and programs and have several MDs who have invested in our seed round. We provide a clear value proposition for patients, MDs, clinics, and payers. We're currently out and raising a $15 million A round, and with this, we'll launch our first products, start generating revenues, and expand our pipeline to tackle the $30 billion liver market, and with Roche, address the $7 billion prostate diagnostics market. If you'd like to join us in our quest to revolutionize diagnostics, feel free to reach out. I'm looking forward to meeting you in our booth. I'm Beth Rogozinski, CEO of Acoustics, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you sharing all about your vision. I definitely think that you have a great partner with Roche to push those ambitious goals forward in the next 3 months in a very accelerated way, and we're already looking forward to the milestones that you can capture in the next weeks to come. So with that being said, we now had our last batch 6 startup for the Roche side of things pitching. We'll now come to the first networking session of today's event. So I'm very excited about that. We all are very excited about that. As you can hear by all the startups that have just pitched, they're already looking forward to engage with you guys and to also make some great connections. I think they also have a lot of more of their stories to tell. So please use the 10 minutes to come to their startup booths and also to connect with them on a closer level. And after this will be followed by an alumni startups panel by my dear colleague Fabian Scheugenflug with 2 former batch startups, UMAI and Vital. So very excited to see how they developed beyond the program scope. So with that being said, thank you for the first round of pitches and speak to you soon again today.